In this brief lecture, we are going to be discussing your prompt for the critical thinking essay number 3. Here, what we're going to focus on, this essay is going to be very different from the first two you wrote. The first two you wrote were a personal narrative or a personal response, meaning it was written in first person and that the focus was on you. In this paper, you're going to switch to the academic third person. So to get started, we're going to go through the different points of view or persons in writing. As you can see here in the little cartoon, first person, we're talking about the narrator, him or herself, is the one doing the talking. Second person, the narrator is speaking directly to the reader. And then in third person, we have an anonymous narrator who is basically just telling the story using the pronouns he, she, it, and they. So let's start with first person. First person is where we use I, me, we, and us statements. Again, here the narrator is the one telling the story, and the story is about the narrator. We know this. Now with this, sometimes a limited amount of personal experience can be an effective way to establish credibility as a writer. Example, if you are trying to write a history of World War II, by establishing that you were actually a soldier in World War II is going to help with the credibility. However, when personal experience is overused, it turns the argument into a personal narrative. So when you make an argument on things such as, for example, gun control. Well, I believe gun control should be effective or is needed because in my life, blah, 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 blah. That's turning it into a personal narrative and not an academic argument. Take this paragraph for example. Here we have I gained independence when I became a student. I was able to think, live, and party on my own. In class, I was able to make my own decisions and even decided if I wanted to attend or not. In other words, I was free. I didn't have to listen to my mom and dad telling me what to do anymore. So this is using the first person point of view. Here we're hearing about the narrative's own personal experience. Now why this is fine if we're asking for a personal essay, if the essay is asking about the experience of college students in general, this is not going to answer it. This is only focused on the narrator. Okay? Also with this, it's easy to lose credibility. What happens if your reader says, well, what do I care about what you think? Why are you the authority? And then the narrator can lose their authority here. All right, next we're moving on to second person point of view. Second person are you statements. This is where the narrator is talking specifically to the reader. This type of writing is very, very generic. You could be anybody. And it's also very accusatory. When we're sitting there and we're saying you this, you that, you this, it becomes very demanding and it becomes very preachy. And there is no other pronoun in second person. The only pronoun you can use is you. So take this example again. Upon becoming a student, you become independent. You are able to think, live, and party on your own. In class, you are able to make your own decisions and even decide if you want to attend or not. In other words, you are free. You don't have to listen to your mom and dad telling you what to do anymore. Notice how many times the word you is used here. And also notice the tone. The writer actually comes across as being very demanding and very preachy. And then finally we have third person. Third person point of view is what should be used in academic writing. This is where we don't know who the narrator is, that it is a person who is putting forth the essay, obviously, but we don't know if what we're reading is a personal stance or not. When writing in third person, you're exploring the issue itself, not writing about yourself or directing the essay towards the reader by using the you statements. So consider the following paragraph again in third person. Students are blessed with a good deal of independence. They all are able to live, think, and party on their own. In class, they are able to make their own decisions and decide whether to attend or not. In other words, students are free. They don't have to listen to their parents telling them what to do anymore. Notice here how the writer is dealing with college in general. We have no idea what the writer's personal point of view is, but they are obviously putting forth an argument. The argument here is that students are free, college students are free, and we can see and hear this without it relying on a personal narrative. Now that's what you are going to be doing in this essay. You are going to be making an argument without relying on personal opinion and first or second person narrative. So what you're going to do in this essay, you'll take a stand on one side of an issue. I will give you the issue on the next slide. Clearly, you're going to state what the position is, and then you're going to defend it without using first or second person point of view. No I, me, we, you. So no I believe or I think. I literally say no I think, I feel, I believe because I do not care. Your job is to put forth an argument and support it academically using the third person. The purpose of this is for you to engage in higher level thinking and writing skills. In most academic writing, the writer should not use first or second person point of view. It's looked at as much too personal and informal. Third person point of view is preferred for most academic writing. Therefore, you should not write as if you're having a conversation with the reader, and again, the I think, I feel, I believe has no place in this writing. Now, some people say, well, how can I make an argument if I can't give my opinion? You're not being asked for your opinion. You're being asked to take a stance. You may sometimes have to write a paper on a topic that you strongly disagree with, yet you still have to defend that. So maybe you are anti-death penalty and you have to write a paper that is pro-death penalty. Well, if you start your paper off with, well, the death penalty is wrong, you're not going to do well and you're not answering the assignment. So here is the issue that I'm giving you. The issue is many people are pointing fingers at each other in regards to the role of the media in reporting accurate, non-biased information today. So this begs the question, who's failing whom? Is the media failing to do its job of reporting factual information, or is the public failing to do its own due diligence and simply accepting what is reported as the truth? Should there even be an expectation that the media must offer an unbiased opinion? So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a side. You're either going to say the media is failing, and then you're going to say why, or you're going to say the public is failing, and then you're going to say why. There is a third option. You may say they're both failing, that both the media and the public are failing, and then you're going to support that with why. You may not take the easy way out and say no one's failing, it's all good. Okay? You need to make an argument. What you're going to do is discuss the expectations and requirements of the media and the American public, and then show how or where those expectations are not being met. Now remember, social media and news media are not the same thing. Facebook is not news media, it is social media. If you wish to discuss social media, you are more than welcome to, but do not confuse the two. News media is going to be things such as your magazines and your news broadcasts, world news broadcasts, local news broadcasts. Social media is things such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You may discuss both of them, but remember, they are separate things. All right. Here are some different of the requirements. This is due in class on Thursday, August 9th, when called for, and also submitted on Blackboard. Any papers not submitted on Blackboard by 5 p.m. on August 9th will not be considered turned in and will receive a grade of 0. Some of you are still not turning your papers in on Blackboard. That is absolutely not acceptable. Now for this, you're not required to cite an outside source. However, you most likely will have to. Why? Because you're probably going to want to use some statistics in this. That you will then have to cite. When you cite things, you will need to do it in correct APA format. This paper is a minimum of 500 words. Obviously APA format, however, you do not need an abstract. As always, correct grammar and mechanics are required. And now remember, this is different from the previous two essays. This is not a personal response. You should not start your paper by saying, I think the media is failing. No, that is personal opinion, that is first person. You should start with a statement such as, the media is failing because. Again, a good format for this paper is going to be that 3.5 paragraph. You should have an introductory paragraph where you cite your claim, 3 body paragraphs, each one of those supporting your claim, and then a conclusion that restates the thesis, the support, and wraps it up. As always, if you have questions or concerns, feel free to email me. You can make an appointment with me. We can discuss this. This lecture will remain up on Blackboard for you. The prompt itself is also posted under the Writing Tools folder. I have also put up a point of view guide under the Writing Tools folder, and I also put it under week 6. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know.